Hello, hi everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for watching my previous video. Thank you. Well, today I would like to talk about self-love. Really, what is self-love? Just like the word itself says, self-love, love yourself. Most of us, we don't love ourselves enough. How do I mean? We don't we make mistakes and dwell on those mistakes. I for one, I am guilty of that. Really, I'm guilty of that. You make certain mistakes and you dwell on it. You don't move on from it. You find yourself beating yourself for such mistakes. For instance, you were in a relationship. The relationship sank, like the ship sank, and you find yourself beating up yourself for not putting in so much effort, or you realize, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that to make the relationship go well. I should have done better. But then that's what life is. Life is you win some, you lose some. So you have to learn how to forgive yourself and move on from that mistake, from that past. The relationship went south. My dear, get up, girl. Get up, boy, and move on. You learned from it. Good or bad, you learned something from it. Move on. Take care of yourself. Be happy. Most times we don't love ourselves to desire happiness. The same love you give to that person, channel it to yourself. And you realize that you don't have to hold on to anything before you can be happy. You don't have to attach your happiness to anything or anybody. When you realize that, you realize there is more to life than even the wealth of the world. Most times, a relationship goes bad. Sorry, I'm making so much references to relationship. Really, I'm a lover girl, really. So, the relationship goes bad. Some people dwell on it. You keep beating yourself as to the reason why it went bad. I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have said this. I shouldn't have. Oh, I chased them with my bad attitude. I did this. Yes, good. It's a good thing you understand the fact that it's your fault, or you understand and you're able to point out what your mistakes are. But sweetheart, the worst you can ever do to yourself is to dwell on it. The worst you can ever do to yourself is to dwell on it. All you need to do is get up, brush it up, girl. Move on. Move on. Learn from it. Learn from those your mistakes you have made. Forgive yourself. Like, I can't overemphasize this. Forgive yourself. We don't forgive ourselves well enough. We don't even love ourselves, and we expect people to love us. Really? Oh, please, give me a break. Love yourself. If you love yourself, you wouldn't have to force people to love you. That is it. Because when you love yourself, you do what makes you happy. When you love yourself, you radiate love. You radiate happiness. You shine. Really? Yes. Love yourself. Exercise more. Go out. Meet people. Have fun. Play. Sincerely, you have to be compassionate to yourself. Don't be too hard. Moving off from relationship talks now, life issues too. Sometimes we tend to compare ourselves to our mates. Sincerely, I belong to the school of thought that believe there is no my mates are. There's no life mates. The only mates you can have is actually classmates, schoolmates. No life mates. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Yes, you and whoever went to school the same time. Probably while you were in school, you did better than her. You had better grades. You were more liked than her. And all of a sudden, she's out of school and she got a job with Shell, Chevron, or she got a very big job and you're still there struggling for jobs for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. My dear, love yourself well enough to understand that you and that person don't have the same path. Love yourself well enough to understand that things would always get better at God's own time. Love yourself well enough to care for your own self. Love yourself well enough to celebrate your small wins. There are times where we feel we haven't achieved so much because at the end of the day, we end up comparing ourselves to people we feel they are our mates. You compare yourself, and what they say is comparison is the thief of joy. sincerely, it's not a lie. By the time you compare yourself with people, sweethearts, even the things you should do to get better, you tend to ignore them. You tend to even ignore what your strengths are, to work more on it, and even ignore what your weaknesses are, to build it and work more, get over those weaknesses, because we keep comparing ourselves. Love yourself well enough to celebrate your own small wins. Love yourself well enough to understand that, yes, I am not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. Love yourself well enough to celebrate yourself. Love yourself well enough to be grateful to God for all He has done. Love yourself well enough to improve on yourself. Improve on yourself. Go for classes, self-improvement, personality improvement. Take courses. Start up a new business. Start up a vlog just like me. Do something beautiful with your life. Love yourself so much. If you have to exercise, go ahead, exercise. Get that body you want to get. Oh, you want to start that, you want to write a book. Go ahead, start writing. Start with chapter 1. Before you know it, you're in chapter 20. That is how it works. Whatever you need to do, love yourself well enough to understand that you are walking on your own path of success and your own destiny. And no one can be like you. Really, no one can be like you. You are yourself. There is no copy. There is no version of you. Love yourself well enough to understand that everything would happen at the right time God has decided for it to happen. Love yourself well enough to also forgive yourself of the past mistakes, because there are times we make mistakes that should have been avoided. Really, we take some steps, either financial steps, we make some financial decisions, we make some, it might not even be, it might be anything. It could be relationships, it could be, it could just be anything. Career decision. Love yourself well enough to forgive yourself and move on from it. Move on from it, because the truth is the world keeps spinning. We can't sit down and keep regretting things. You sit down and keep regretting, my dear, you're losing more. That's all I have for today, though. I hope I've been able to encourage someone to love themselves, because even me, I'm also working on loving myself, trying to make sure everything I do, I make sure I put myself first. Love myself well enough not to get into any mental stress. Love myself well enough to appreciate the journey of life. Really. Thank you for tuning on. Thank you.